Hi everyone, let's walk through this AutoCAD Basics assignment together. In essence, what I'm asking you to do is to recreate this drawing. It's got a very small little site plan in the middle of it and a title block. So what we've got on the screen here is our AutoCAD drawing template, right? And then kind of over here on the right, I've split screened our example. This is the piece that we're wanting to draw. The first thing I'm going to do is save my file as another name. Alright, now I'm going to try to draw this thing that we see on the right. And the first piece I'm going to draw is this rectangle right here. Right? This is going to be a property line. So over here in AutoCAD, I will change my current layer to property lines right here. And I'll draw a rectangle, and I'll start somewhere in here. Alright. REC for rectangle, and then I will draw one that's 50 feet across and 46 feet up. Okay, there we go. Uh-oh, these don't look very much the same. Alright, we've got a blue rectangle, we've got a rectangle with a dash pattern over here. We need to do a couple of things. First thing, check the annotation scale. This is, while we're in model space, this is just what you were viewing your model space in, all right? And so I'm going to set my view here to 1 inch equals 30 feet, all right, which was specified in the instructions. And then let me zoom in on here, and you should have this rectangle. Right? If it still doesn't look quite right, sometimes when you zoom in and out and in and out, you have to regenerate, which makes AutoCAD recalculate your scale. And so you can use the regen command, right? Looks the same. We've now got a rectangle, right, for our property lines. And let's start drawing these contour lines, right? Now, in this case, I'm not expecting you to be super accurate with these. Just some sort of splines that roughly follow these patterns would be fine. So we're going to use the spline command, SPL. And starting with contour 14 there. Uh-oh, I've got the ortho turned on, so I better turn that off. Okay, I'm going to try a couple of splines. Alright, so now I've got my contour lines, but oh dear, I didn't set the layers so they look incorrect. You can select each of these items, come over to the Properties panel, and you could change them to the existing contours layer. Or here's another way to do that. Right. If I move over to the example plan that was given, right, and use the match properties command, right, it's located right here, properties panel, match properties, or I'm all about using the shortcuts, so you can use MA for match properties. Right. I'm going to select a source object. Let's pick this contour line and come back to my tiny little drawing here and select a destination object. Right. And notice those now turn into the correct properties. If you select them, you can go take a look. It's now on the existing contours layer. It's got the correct line type and line weight. Right. What else do we need to draw here? Looks like some numbers. Now, you don't know what those numbers mean yet. All right, we'll get there in our course, but they are telling us the elevation of each of these contours. We could draw numbers right here. We could use the MT for mtext command, right? Or here's another way to do it. Let me zoom out again. And I'm going to come over here and copy these numbers that we already have using the CO for copy command. Specify the base point. All right, come back over here. And I want that right there. And so now I have the number with exactly the right size, scale, layers, all right, already set up in the example right here on my drawing. So I'm going to edit that text. I double-clicked in the text, and now I'm going to tell it that it is actually a 14 and not a 26. All right. And once I have that, I can copy those around. Let's see, I need to turn off my O-snap off. There we go, right about there. Now you're wondering, why is my text showing up in multiple different heights? It turns out that I have already set up your text as a annotation object to show up in multiple scales. All right, so it's got multiple annotative scales already assigned to it. All right, so as I place that text right there, all right, so that when you change your annotative scale down here, you can still see it. So if we're at 1 in 30, it looks like this. Let me zoom out so we can see that whole thing. 1 in 30 looks like this. If we switch to 1 in 20, all right, the text is now the correct size for that. If we switch to 1 in 60, the text is now pretty big and the correct size for that scale. Right? So that's why you see multiple when you're copying and moving that. Right? I'm going to quickly edit the rest of those texts. Let's see, what else is over here? Well, we see some dimensions. All right, so I can create a dimension. I can use this dimension command, all right, and select this object right here, and then maybe zoom out a smidge and place it right about there. Do that again and create a dimension here. You're saying, oh no, those don't look right. Well, that's true. So I have some fabulous dimensions already set up over here for you. All right, so we can use the match prop command again. I'm going to say MA for match prop and select this dimension. It's already set up with dimensions, styles, text styles, sizes, height, etc. All right, and of course the layer. So let's select that and then come back over here and paste those properties, and now they should be right. There's one more thing that I need to do here, and that is, if you really zoom in on this, and I think I mentioned it in the instructions, the contour 15 is actually a heavier line weight than the others. All right, I don't know if you can see that on the screen. And so we're going to take this contour 15 specifically, and we're going to assign it to the contours every 5th dark. All right, and so that gives it a heavier line weight. I've already set that up for you, and we can tell right there. All right, let's zoom this back out. Okay, look at this beautiful drawing. Wait, you know what? I don't like this. Let's move this a little bit. Fix it. Done. Okay. All right, so we're done here in model space, but we're not done in paper space. So I'm going to move, right now we're in model space, I'm going to move to the 11 by 17 sheet. Let's click right there. And we've got this blank drawing template. Right, I'm going to move this note off the edge because we don't really need it. So what are we trying to draw? We're trying to take a look at our sheet over here. We're trying to place our drawing on the sheet. All right, and then also we need to customize the title block and to update the drawing name. So first things first, let's place that that drawing on the sheet. And we're going to want to draw or create a viewport, right? And so I specifically want to place the viewport on the viewport layer, and you can scroll because it's alphabetical. It's all the way at the bottom. All right, viewport, and that viewport should be non-plotting. We don't really want to see its outline. All right. I'm going to create a view. I'm on the viewport layer. Now let's create a viewport. And the command for that is mview. I don't know why, but mview. All right. MV is the shortcut. And then we specify the two corners. It's like cutting a hole in your page and looking through until you see model space. All right, so we're cutting a hole in our paper space. We're looking through to see model space. So here's our viewport. And it is an object. I can select it. It's kind of a rectangular object. Right, we want to, right now we're in paper space. I'm going to double click and I'm going into that viewport, and it's going to take me right into model space. So double click, and now I'm in a little special world of model space. All right, in our paper view. So I'm going to zoom in on our piece that we want right here. All right. I'm also going to turn this grid off because I don't like the grid. It annoys me. So that's this piece right here. There you go. All right, so what I've done is kind of centered us on the drawing that we're interested in, but I just zoomed randomly. It's not to a specific scale. So let's do that next. I'm going to double click and turn us back into paper space. Right. Select the viewport object, and then I will go over here to my properties panel. Right. I've selected the viewport object right here. And you can see down here in the properties, we've got two scale properties. One is the annotation scale. That dictates how our annotative objects, which are the text and the dimensions, are displayed. Right? And we want that to be set to 1 inch equals 30 feet. It looks like it is right now, which is great. Right? If it isn't, we could just select that. The next thing we want to set is the standard scale. That is for everything else, all right? All of the rectangles and lines and splines, etc. All right, and right now it's custom because we just kind of zoomed to a random scale. So let's select our 1 inch equals 30 feet. All right, in general, even though there's two different settings here, you want them to match. So go ahead and set both of them. All right, and once you have set this, once your viewport is the correct scale, all right, always set the display lock to yes, right? Because otherwise it's really easy to accidentally get off the correct scale. All right. I'm going to use the escape key to deselect my window. Okay. And then I'm a little confused because this does not look the same as that. All right. So I'm going to use the regen command, RE, for regenerate. That did not work. Try it again, Okay, I'm going to double click in here, use the regen command. Oh, that worked. Okay. AutoCAD, what can I say? So I have regenerated, and what that meant was AutoCAD has to recalculate the display. Right? Sometimes it needs to do that. So let's double click out of this, and now we have our drawing. It looks correct, all right there, and we can zoom in. We can see, for example, the line weights. We've got these heavy line weights here for the property lines. We've got a lighter line weight for the regular contours. We've got kind of a medium line weight for every fifth contour, all right? We can see our numbers are the correct size, and we've got our dimensions. Oh, what the heck? What is up with this one? All right, I've just double clicked into model space again, and I'm going to edit this this number. That was a 14. Somehow I missed that. All right. All right, so the rest of the exercise is all about the title block. Now, these are drawn directly in paper space, so they're full scale for a piece of paper. All right, and right here in this area, you can create any logo that you want. If you look over here at my example, I used a circle. You totally don't have to do that. Create whatever logo that your little heart desires, and that's fine. All right. And then you're going to edit this text, all right, to put in your name and your semester and your year. And down here, you're going to edit. This is just simply a piece of text that you can edit to add our drawing name and our assignment name. All right. If you ever need to edit the sheet number, all right, you may do that as well. And finally, if we zoom over here to our drawing name, scale, and our north arrow, right, you can see it right here, and you can edit those texts as well. All right, as I see this, I realize that I have completely mistaken the correct scale for this drawing. So let's see how easy that is to change. All right, and all we need to do is select this viewport. We're going to, first you have to unlock the display, all right? Then you have to change the annotation scale and the standard scale. Come back. Oh, I forgot a spot. Once you've done that, go lock the display again. All right. And you can see that now I have the drawing to the correct scale. All right. The next step of this piece is to print it to PDF. All right. So let's, first of all, let's save. Always save, right? And then come down here to the print command, or you can hit Control P or type plot. Any of those work. All right, here is the print command. And we're going to print this, right, to the AutoCAD PDF General Documentation Printer, right? So instead of printing to a physical printer, we're printing to a PDF driver. Right. You want to make sure that everything in here is set correctly. It should be. All right, I preset these things for you. So the paper size right here should be 11 by 17. You want to print the layout. All right. Your plot scale should be 1:1 because you're printing from paper space. Up here, your plot style should be monochrome. If you noticed in model space, we were working with blue and white and orange, and then as soon as we switched to paper space, it was all black and white. That's due to this monochrome setting right here. All right, everything else should be correct. You can preview it if you want, or you can simply hit OK and then save your document. All right, that PDF that we just created is popped up over here on our right-hand side. All right. For this assignment, I would like you to submit both that PDF and the AutoCAD DWG file. In general, I only want the PDF for all of the remaining assignments this semester. Thanks, everyone.